Welcome to the criminal imagination, where ink and blood have equal weight and the line between fact and fiction is always just a little too thin. Today, we travel back to the origins of crime fiction, not to a British drawing room or a New York alley, but to a French prison cell, a gallows, and a mind too sharp to stay locked away. Let me introduce you to Eugene Francois Vidocq, a man so daring, deceptive, and brilliant that he blurred the line between criminal and cop, legend and reality. Vidocq's story reads like an overwritten picturesque novel, and that is putting it mildly. He first went to jail at 13. His own father reported him for stealing the family's silver. Then came three military desertions, several duels, bigamy, burglary, and disguises ranging from sailor to nun to seduced noblewoman. He bribed his way out of hard labor, leapt from windows into rivers, and sweet-talked Parisian courts into hiring him as an informer. Yes, you heard that right. The criminal became the cop. By 1811, he was commanding La Brigade de la Sûreté, France's first plainclothes detective unit, made entirely of reformed criminals like himself. He didn't just catch criminals, he invented methods still used today: indexing systems, chemical anti-forgery compounds, and yes, even early ballistics. In one case, he secretly proved a noble woman's death wasn't at the hands of her husband, but of her lover. He wasn't in it for morality, he was in it for the truth, for puzzles, for the thrill of the reveal. When Vidocq published his memoirs, the public devoured them. They read them like fiction because fiction had already started to borrow from him. Enter Poe's Dupin, aristocratic, arrogant, and omniscient, a far cry from Vidocq's street-born swagger, but based on him nonetheless. Dupin dressed the mind games in velvet. Vidocq dressed as a chimney sweep to arrest his mark. Poe elevated the criminal-turned-cop into a gentleman detective, and so was born the modern crime story. But the French weren't done with Vidocq. In Balzac's Le Pere Corot, the mysterious Vautrin appears, master of disguise, criminal genius, and philosopher of ambition, another thinly veiled Vidocq. He tells a young man, the secret of a great success is a crime that has never been discovered because it was properly executed. Balzac's Vautrin forces us to think, is crime simply the hidden engine behind every climb up the social ladder? Vidocq wasn't just inspiring detectives, he was reshaping villains too. When Conan Doyle's Holmes dismisses a certain French detective as a miserable bungler, he is referencing Monsieur Lecoq, another fictional shadow of Vidocq. Lecoq, created by Emile, was the bridge between Poe's logic and Holmes's brilliance. So was Holmes mocking him or thanking him with sarcasm? Either way, Vidocq's ghost was in the room. Then came Arsène Lupin, the elegant, ironic thief who stole from the corrupt rich and made France fall in love with crime. But in 1911, everything changed. Fantomas arrived. He didn't solve crimes, he didn't care for morality, he murdered for fun, he was chaos in a top hat. Beheadings, deceit, seductions, war exploits, all soaked in theatrical evil. He stretched credibility. And that was the point. If crime was fantasy, he was its nightmare. Respectability returned in 1931 with Maigret, the everyman detective created by Georges Simenon. Maigret wasn't flashy. He was patient, human, a comforting presence in a messy world. But France never abandoned its eccentricity. There was Nestor Burma, wandering a surreal occupied Paris, San Antonio writing in slang no one could translate, and finally Fred Vargas, France's queen of crime fiction whose detectives don't walk, they drift through riddles and the surreal. Whether it's a historian chasing a ghost or a detective deciphering a toe in a gutter, Vargas give us something rare. Crime fiction that dances with dreams but lands with death. So, here is a question for you. What is crime fiction? A mirror to society, a moral puzzle, a guilty pleasure, or simply a world where the impossible becomes possible through the sharpest minds and the darkest hearts? Which fictional detective or criminal do you think most blurs the line between justice and chaos? Let me know in the comments. There are no wrong answers, only deeper mysteries. Do you like what you heard? Then like, subscribe, and share this with your fellow sleuths. Every click helps me keep the mystery alive. Until next time, behind every great fortune is a crime or at least a clever story. This is a criminal imagination where every clue counts and every silence speaks.